Hello and welcome to this next episode of the video series. We're checking out submissions to the DungeonCrawler Game Jam of 2024. And this time we will have a look at Spell Tower by YouDoYouBuddy. And this game incorporates cosmic horror. The plot revolves around the player stopping an evil cult from awaking an incomprehensible cosmic being. There's also sanity mechanic, where the player loses sanity from powerful cards with the occult property. The game also features a bunch of ancient ruins, including the tower that the game is named after, so it incorporates multiple themes. Alright, let's have a look at the game page. The ancient tower dominates the landscape. Few creatures dares to live in its long umbra. Recently, however, it seems that the tower has welcomed new residents. The cult of the Sinless Chosen, who seems to be preparing an unsightly ritual on the tower's top floor. Spell Tower is a first-person dungeon crawler and deck builder hybrid with usual assortment of interesting card interactions, broken combos, and cards with uses you might not have thought of at first. This is a labor of love, and any feedback is most welcome, and if nothing else, I just hope my game can make your day a little bit better. Well, it definitely looks cool. The graphical style seems to be very coherent, and you can already hear some environment sounds in the background. So let's have a look at Spell Tower by YouDoYouBuddy. Let's go. And here we are in the game, and before we start, let's have a quick look into the settings. We have a toggle full screen, which you can already see. So I played around with the settings already, so because unfortunately you cannot change them in game as far as I can see. So you can change the FOV from 80 up to 130. But 100 seems to be the compromise, and I will show you a bit of that later. Camera speed default, camera turn speed default, HUD scale 2, and back. Some things I found are that here, if you click here, you can already click on the cards which you don't have. So that's a minor bug, I guess. And another thing which I found weird is that if you move to the cursor, you can see the cursor to the right here, right? If I move the cursor out of the screen and keep dragging to the right, and usually it hangs on the edge of the screen. But if I move it left, it doesn't come back. It takes quite a while until the cursor is back into the screen. So it seems like the screen extends in some way to the right. I don't know exactly what's going on there. Another thing I saw is then when we start the game, we did not get any introduction. The first time I started the game, we did get an introduction. So I will just paste that introduction in here, and then we will continue. Long ago, an enormous tower rose from the ground, bearing the mark of Grottel, an ancient evil beyond comprehension, who have long thought to be dead. Soon thereafter, the lands were ravaged by plagues and war, but Grottel still sleeps. Recently, members of the Sinless Chosen have been spotted around the tower, and it seems they have begun a ritual of some kind at the tower's summit. You fear the worst as you begin to prepare for your journey. If the cult manages to complete their ritual, it is likely Grottel will awaken and swallow the world whole. Alright, so here we are. And now we can also see on the top right, there's a question mark. And that gives us an overview about our cards. These are our interface. These are your cards. Drag them to the center of the screen to play them. This is your draw pile. That's where all of the cards you haven't played yet are. Click on your draw pile to draw a new hand. You can do this at any time. This is your discard pile. That's where all of the cards you have already played are. HP is a measurement of your overall health. If it drops to 0, you die. SP is a measurement of your overall sanity. If it drops to 0, you will go mad and gradually lose HP. XP is gained from killing enemies. Fill it up to 100% to increase your HP and SP. And you can attack enemies by moving into them. This basic attack only deals 3 damage. Spell Tower is a turn-based game. Enemies only move when you do. And then you have the question mark and you will get a sound notice when they spotted you. Alright, so you can see the cards here which we can use to attack the enemy. There's also a tooltip on these. This is the draw deck thing, and we can also click on that to get new cards, and then they will be discarded. However, what should have been mentioned there is that you can't just get any new cards. You cannot usually, at least that's how I know from a card. I'm not sure how many trading card games I played, but at least one. And I think usually it's when your cards are out, you are basically reshuffling that pack, and then you start drawing again. And this is not the case. When you used all the cards here, they are gone, and then so you're not supposed to use that, basically, unless you have just one crappy card left and you don't want to use that. So maybe there should be like a security question or something. There's an enemy, for example. One thing which I would have liked is a key to skip a turn, and I don't think there is a key for that. No. So enter, space, control, alt. Nothing happening there. 5. By the way, you cannot play with numpad. Yeah. So you cannot skip a turn, so this makes it a bit weird to fight them. If the enemy was one tile in front of me, for example, then I would have, if I approached it, then I would automatically have gotten an attack, so I would need to go back and strafe around and something like that. It's a bit weird. So we use that, and it's dead. We got 10% XP. What I also found interesting is the tiles. They consist of each, well, at least with these forest tiles here, they consist of a wall, basically, which is not reaching to the edge of the tile, but instead these forests, they all have here a curved corner to make it more smooth, and I think this works quite well. Okay, I think this is a more special card. It has a different color. Explodes on hit. Card produces a projectile and targets what it hits. That sounds weird. Okay. There's another enemy. We can use that. Bomb arrow. Whoa! It also destroyed the chest. Okay. That was not intended. Now, regarding the perspective, I think I will talk about that when we get into... Maybe we get into some... in the tower itself, and then we have real walls, and then we can maybe... makes more sense to talk about that. So there's an enemy. So we drew new cards now, right? From our stack was reshuffled. 3, 3, 5. So let's use this first. Then forward, and then this one. Okay, Wisp Arrow. Deal 2 for each space the arrow travels. Okay. 7 on Fatal. Heal 5 HP on Draw. Take 2. Target Touch. Card targets 1 space ahead of you. Can do 7 damage though. Pull yourself to target or pull target to you. This is probably pretty good, but I can imagine that a tower will get with more closed spaces. So I will take this one. Ah no, we take 2 damage whenever we draw the card. Okay, I didn't quite understand that, or didn't quite get that. Heal 5. So we do get yeah, this for example, I can't avoid getting damage besides of dancing around, so that's a bit unfortunate. So what I need to do is this. And then I need to find some I could go forward, but yeah, in the end it will not be possible to go 1 step forward while the enemy is. Yeah, so we have to take our damage here. Okay, so that one has a lot of HP. We use the arrow. Again, we need to take the damage. Now we bump into the enemy. Then we use this card. And then we can also heal the... Well, maybe we can kill one enemy first. Replenish 6 to 10 sanity points. But we also have a ritual knife. Deal 5 damage while in hand. 3 damage when hurt. What does that mean? When hurt. So it's enemies which are already damaged, I guess. Or plus 3 damage when I am not at full hit points. But it has Occult, lose 5 sanity points when drawn. Deal 7 on Fatal. Let's use this one, or take this one. So... yeah. Now I'm going to... No, I'm not going to use that now. First we kill that one, and then we heal. And I think we got everything here. So moving around is very comfortable. Okay, there's Forest Third. Deal. Yeah, we have another one of these. Let's take this. Yeah. Alright. Deal 2 for each space the arrow travels. Wisp. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Oh! Trench first. Okay, I didn't want to go past that one. Okay. Well, we completely missed out that zone then. So yeah, so here you also have these rounded corners. So I guess it will be the case for everything. So let's talk about a perspective. We can change the FOV to 90. That pulls, basically, you get more of a tunnel vision. And this also pulls the camera forward, if you want to call it that. That means that you cannot see the walls left and right anymore. So with FOV 90, you lose some of the visibility. With the increased, however, the tiles to me look better that way. The distances of these tiles. With a higher FOV, you get a fisheye look. And that means you can see even more from the sides. But that means that the tiles will feel even deeper, longer. So that also is not the best option. So the best compromise here is the FOV of 100. But that also is probably because the developer, because you have other stuff you can play around with, like the camera height and the angle the camera is looking at. And I think FOV 90 would have been better together with some other adjustments, but it's a bit of a preference. I mean, with this FOV of definitely you see everything except that you, for example, to the left, because there are these rounded corners, you can actually not see you can see the tile to the left, but you can barely see the wall to the left. So there's a slight, it could be a little bit adjusted to make it better. Stinger doesn't end your turn. Let's take this. This one is far away. This, I think, is an ideal case for the weapon we don't have. 1 space ahead of you. Ah, it's also shooting. Mm-hmm. And I guess with that other thing we could move forward. So yeah, this is a bit unfortunate because we have to take the damage, or we need to go away and basically use an ability which will not end our turn at that point. Like, we could use the healing potion now. Of course, it makes no sense. Explodes on hit. Reduce the projectile and target what it hits. Mm-hmm. Place a bomb. A timed explosive destroys walls? What? Targets 1 space ahead of you. Okay. So yeah, it is kind of possible to tell that we can't go right by seeing this thingy here on the side, but it's not perfect. Regarding the movement though, I think this game uses a mechanic basically that when you press forward twice, that the previous movement is basically overwritten. So if I press 3 times, then basically, or let's say if I press once, you can see that the animation, well, it's still super short, but if I press twice, then the first animation is cut off basically, and then I'm jumping forward. It's not really, you don't really feel that it's cut off. Maybe it's also put into the next movement, but it's super fast, it feels extremely responsive. And so the movement feels perfectly fine. Thank you. Why? Ah, because we drew a card, which, yeah, where we take 2 damage on drawing. These are 2 enemies, I think. So 5. For each space it travels. That's a bit of an overkill. So now we can use that. And this one we can kill in close combat. Ouch. Explodes on hit. I will just bump into the enemy. Okay, we want to deal 7. Yeah, this, I don't think that we can get away there. We can use this just to get the enemy in front of us. I can also try and see what happens if we just throw that against the wall. Oh, it destroys this whole area. That's interesting. Very cool. Place a bomb. Deal 7. This doesn't end the turn. Alright, that's quite strong then. Explodes on hits. We might want to discard the cards at the end of the level to still receive the healing cards, which I think we had 1. So we can do that. Now we have the health card. Can use that. And I don't think that we have another one, so I will just keep it. Trench thirds. Draw 3 cards. Shuffle, discard, pile into draw pile. We have an arrow. Place a bomb. Let's take this. Heal. Now we can just use that right away. Or we can see how this works out with regarding... Oh. We don't have a bomb here. But these seem to be melee. Let's use this. Then we need to use the heal. 5. Kill. Deal 7. It will not kill it though. Then use the 5 one and kill it. Okay. There we can continue, but I'd like to... No, that was also not optimal. I think... I'm not sure what happens if I just click on that. Okay, so this also takes us one turn further. Well, this is an arrow. This doesn't make much sense. So we do that. And this also gives us a heal. Okay. I'm not sure if we are actually approaching the tower. Maybe we are. So let's heal up. Yeah, we drew a card again. Ruins first. And we've got a level up. And I'm not sure what that's. We get more HP or something. Yeah, HP and SP. I'm not sure what we had before. Explodes on hit. Yeah, we need to... Ah, okay. There was also, yeah, there the corner is missing. There as well, so there's a small bug. Draw 3 cards, push target as far as possible, then deal 3. Shuffle. Yeah, let's take one of these. And another one. Okay, and now we can search for our healing card, like this one. Runes second. 12. We need to get into close combat range in this case, because we don't have enough to kill that one otherwise. Replenish, explodes on hit. Take, deal 10 and take 2. But it's ahead of you, it's not. Bomb arrows are cool. Alright. Yeah, so this one looks very wide, but of course we can't go through that. Place a bomb. I should have done that differently. Okay, I think we got everything here as well. So let's get our heal. We can also try and get that heal again. And now continue. Draw 3 cards, deal 5. Well, actually this is not bad, because we can also skip a turn doing that. And we are not using up all cards anyways. Oh, the tower is very close now, so we actually do get closer every time. So here we need to get forward, backward until enemy is close by. Yes, like this. And now we can draw additional cards. Deal 7, deal 5. Deal 7. This one is also very nice. Let's take this. It's useful right away. $10. No, not yet. Nah, this might be too far. There was no explode. What happened? Level up. Oh, and with the level up, we also gain new hit points. So, I mean, we heal the hit points. Okay, so let's continue. Almost there. Pull yourself to target, shuffle discarded pile into... Okay, let's take this. Apply 1 poison. Deals damage every turn. This looks like a boss fight card or something. Until now, this would have been completely useless. Let's take this and not speculate that this becomes more useful. We can place a bomb in this case, but yeah, let's do this. $60 HP. Okay. Deal 7. Okay. It's teleporting away after each hit. Now it's 2 tiles away, right? Yeah. Not after each, but okay. We need to use that then. Get us some new cards. I think that also we took damage from that. But I like that the level is being destroyed. We can shuffle them in. Let's get some new ones. Bomb arrow. Oh, now it shoots. Just to skip the turn. And killed it. And as the head priest succumbs to his wounds, the ancient powers that kept the tower standing begins to fizzle out. With the tower gone, the cult can no longer awaken Grottle Co. The world breathes a sigh of relief. You, on the other hand, were standing at the top of the tower when it collapsed. So that sucks. The end. Okay. Alright, yeah. That was a nice nice journey. I think it could have actually been longer. One additional area within the tower would have been nice, to like climb up the tower or something. But yeah, also nice that there was a boss fight at the end. There were a couple of cards which didn't really use their potential, like as I mentioned with the poison. Also reshuffling, for example. These were like stretched out mechanics. The maps were not big enough for them to have any use. But generally, I mean, card mechanics are relatively easy, I would say, to make the game, the combat, to turn the combat more interesting. So I'm personally not a fan of card mechanics at all in games, and I would, if I consider buying a game and I see it has card mechanics, I actually always skip them. But I think for a jam, it's a very nice way to make the combat interesting, and it was also well implemented here. So, yeah, that was, let me just, now I can just quickly show. Let's just take off FOV off, and make this too slow. Alright. So you can see, now you have a fisheye vision, and this also means that the tiles, they look like stretched out, right? I mean, this looks horrible. But generally, with the normal FOV, and by the way, now it's supposed to be slow. You can see it a bit better now. That when I press this forward button twice, I think that it will, let's say if I press it once, it will put my destination point in this in this tile. And if I press it twice, it will probably put my destination point in this tile and still have the same duration. And then it will just do the animation so that I end up at that tile. So yeah, it's a very nice system. Let me quickly 3 and 1 right. I mean, you can't even press it fast enough to go for it, right? And maybe that's the reason why there are these corners, because that decreases the chances. So I could, in theory, go there, and it might try and do a diagonal move in that case. Yeah, you could see that. We were moving diagonally, because it sets my destination place at that tile. And then we would run into the wall. So, so that's a cheeky workaround for that. But well, it's still fine. The movement is perfect. But the issue is still that in that case the perspective is a bit problematic though. With the it's also fine. Don't get me wrong there. But the ideal FOV is 100. Or the ideal FOV regarding the walls to the side is 100. But I would say the ideal FOV to get the tile size right is 90. And both come with issues. Actually, let's do it the other way around. With FOV 110, you would really see the sides left and right because the corners are cut out. With FOV of 100, you can see the tiles left and right, but because the edges are cut off, you don't see really the walls left and right. But with FOV 90, then the tile size, the length of the tile feels fine, but then you don't see the walls left and right at all. So there is still some adjustment which could be done there, for example with the camera height, or how far at the front or at the back the camera is, and that would of course show a bit more of the walls left and right. This obviously is horrible, but I mean, I did that on purpose just to show you what impact the FOV has. So, anyways, this was a great entry, Spell Tower by YouDoYouBuddy. And if you want to check out the game, you can find a link to that down in the video description. And if you want to check out more episodes I covered, or more games I covered from the jam so far, you can also check out the playlist, which you will find down in the video description. And you can subscribe to the channel to not miss any new videos I publish. And with that, yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to YouDoYouBuddy for sending this entry to the DungeonCrawler Game Jam of 2024. And with that, I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.